socialism in Milwaukee worked, and it took a government that was pretty corrupt at the turn of the century and turned it into good government by 1910. And so there was strong support, particularly from the Polish working class in Milwaukee, that voted in some wards as high as 67% for socialist mayors between 1910 and 1960. And they were voting for it because of the good effects they saw from socialist mayors. And they were not completely, they were very careful to be a-religious in terms of their socialism in Milwaukee. Milwaukee is a really good test case for this whole thing about the relationship between socialism and Catholicism, because the archbishops here were fiercely against it, and they wrote articles week after week against socialism. And you had the Catholics voting in large numbers for the socialists. They just could not identify with the attacks on a comprehensive philosophy of life that they just didn't see here in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee socialists were called sewer socialists. They were, because of their preoccupation with the ownership of the utilities net. If you look at Milwaukee compared to Chicago, you see the enduring effects of socialism. You look at the lakeshore. The lakeshore is for public use in Milwaukee. And you look at the park system. The park system here is a manifestation of the effects of socialism. The things that some people complain about, the high taxes in Milwaukee, supports decent wages for workers in the society. And so you have that tradition that endures in Milwaukee. Catholic priests were using communism to identify socialism in the early part of the 20th century too. And McGrady writes a piece and he says, yes, the Catholic Church is very much a communist system. Look at the early church, look at the religious orders, look at the Benedictines, look at the common ownership of property, look at the common distribution of wealth. He said that there is an organization of communism. That's why you have the cleric, the rise of the clerics in support of labor comes out of this movement. They saw the justice of some of the critiques. John Ryan, for example, especially in the early part of the 20th century, up to 1920, John Ryan was very much in favor of municipal ownership of utilities, of factories, of all kinds of institutions. And he went to say, and he wrote an article one time saying that that socialism as an economic theory is not contrary to Catholicism. As an economic theory, it's not contrary to Catholicism.